And how about this? And this is the most disgusting one. Beyonce is going to use a surrogate so she can maintain her body. I don't believe that one. Well, here's one that's even more disgusting than that. They're adopting, but they're going to play it off like it's allegedly, you know, like they gave birth. I don't know, but I can. Okay, now you remember I was the first one to say this. And you remember, because wait, I haven't said it yet. Watch. It's gonna be an at-home water birth in the master bathroom. There are gonna be 3 people there. Beyonce, Jay-Z, and her mother, Miss Tina.
As everyone thinks they know the story already, this one quietly refuses to die. Years have passed, careers have shifted, friendships have fractured, and yet one question keeps floating back to the surface like a secret that never fully sank. What if one of the most iconic pregnancies in pop culture wasn't exactly what the world was shown? What if the glowing smiles, the red carpet poses, and the carefully timed interviews were hiding something much deeper? Tonight, the internet is buzzing again because a familiar voice has stepped forward, a voice from the past, a woman who once stood shoulder to shoulder with Beyoncé before the fame, before the crowns, before the empire.
We all know that Blue Ivy came from a surrogate. They shut that hospital down like a president had just been, and parents who had just had children themselves weren't even allowed to see their own kids for 24 hours. Because of the security that was locking that whole thing down.
$1.3 million is alleged that Beyonce and Jay-Z, the Carters, paid this hospital to have the right to have their baby there in complete secrecy and privacy.
Okay, so do we know if the surrogate was alive?
They typically turned some of the cameras off so that there was no pictures that would be.
And now people are claiming that LeToya Luckett has finally said what many whispered for years but were too afraid to say out loud. That the baby bump wasn't real, that Blue Ivy was born through a surrogate, and that the truth was buried under money, power, and silence. But here's the twist. This isn't just about a pregnancy rumor. This is about broken friendships, quiet jealousy, loyalty tested, and what really happens when someone feels erased from a story they helped create. Because when the cameras turn off and the music fades, the wounds don't magically heal. They sit, they wait, and sometimes, years later, they start talking. Before Beyoncé became Beyoncé, before the stadium tours and flawless branding, there was Destiny's Child, and inside that group were young girls chasing the same dream, trusting each other, and believing success would lift them all together. LeToya wasn't just a background name. She was there at the beginning. She sang on the early hits. She slept on floors. She sacrificed just as much as anyone else in that group.
When I would get out of the bed and sit up at a kitchen table, I wouldn't be able to sit like that. Like I was so concerned about my back and the baby, even at 5 months, you know, I sat like this, right?
But as Destiny's Child grew bigger, cracks started to form. Management issues, money disputes, and control battles slowly pushed LeToya and LaTavia out, and while the world celebrated Beyoncé's rise, LeToya was left to rebuild her life in the shadows. That kind of experience doesn't just fade away, it shapes how you see everything that comes after. LeToya went on to have her own success, her own music, her own fans.
There are actually a lot of people that believe this rumor. And it's crazy. I guess there are some crazy celebrities in the world, so we get a bad rep. But to think that I would be that vain, and I respect mothers and women so much, and to be able to experience bringing a child into this world, if you're lucky and fortunate enough to experience that, I would never ever take that for granted. I mean, it's the most powerful thing you can ever do in your life.
But no matter what she achieved, her name was always tied back to Beyoncé. Interviews never let her fully move on. Questions always circled back to Destiny's Child, to the split, to whether there was bad blood. And for a long time, LeToya stayed graceful, quiet, careful. Meanwhile, Beyoncé became untouchable. Every move was calculated, every appearance controlled. So when she announced her pregnancy with Blue Ivy in 2011, the world froze. Cameras followed her everywhere. Fans celebrated, but almost immediately, something felt off to some people.
Beyonce couldn't get pregnant, not naturally. What I do know is this. Beyonce got on that stage with that fake baby bump. It was lined up with the same timing of where Kathy White would have been in her second trimester. The timeline of when she delivered Blue Ivy lines up almost perfect with the timeline of when Kathy White would have delivered.
The moment that started it all was that now famous interview where Beyoncé sat down and leaned forward. For a split second, her baby bump appeared to fold, to sink, to move in a way many mothers said didn't make sense. And just like that, the internet exploded. Slow motion videos, screenshots, body language experts, pregnancy forums. Everyone suddenly became an investigator.
Under the impression that she was very strongly considering talking to me and telling me her story about her affair with Jay-Z. So a few days go by and I'm following up with her, I'm calling her, and I can't get a hold of her. And I believe that this went on for a few days. And it was just really weird because she always answered her work phone. I thought it was really strange that she was answering her phone. She was MIA. I didn't know what the deal was. So I ended up reaching out to one of her colleagues. And when I finally got hold of one of her colleagues, they told me that she's dead. And I said, what? And she said, yes, she's dead. And I said, well, what do you mean she's dead? What happened to her? This is just a beautiful, young, seemingly healthy 28-year-old woman. I was told that she didn't have any health issues, and it was very shocking to hear. And her colleague did not know what happened to her or how she died or why she died, but all she knew is that she was dead. So obviously when I heard this, it was very troublesome and disturbing to find out that this woman who possibly was going to give me an exclusive story on her affair with one of the most powerful rappers in the world, that's very disturbing, and it certainly is very convenient for Jay-Z, isn't it, that she died?
At first, most people brushed it off. Fabric, camera angle, a bad dress. Beyoncé herself laughed it away, calling the rumors ridiculous. And for a while, the noise died down, especially as Blue Ivy was born and grew up looking more and more like her parents. But what nobody expected was that years later, the whispers would come back louder and closer to home.
Hinting, saying,
posting, I get calls, take it down or else, so on and so forth.
But this is about Diddy, so let's be clear for everybody that doesn't know.
Diddy, who's about to, his trial's about to start. Yeah, yes. They're selecting a jury.
But you were on this train years ago.
Yes, many, many years ago. I posted some information that was, basically trying to save my life. And thank goodness to my ex, the wonderful Kim Porter, the late Kim Porter, who, kind of warned me all along the way to, just kind of watch your back, so on and so forth. And I didn't understand why.
Because of Diddy.
Basically.
Do you believe that she died of pneumonia?
Absolutely not.
Recently, online chatter claims that LeToya has finally opened up in private conversations, hinting that what people suspected back then wasn't completely wrong. Not a full confession, not a public interview, but enough to send shockwaves through gossip circles. According to these rumors,
Carter is just as bad as the diddler, and I know that for a fact. I got the scars to prove it. Want to know what a box cutter feels like going into your skin and ripping you? I can tell you how it feels. Y'all ain't seen shit. That Cassie That's nothing. I'm saying Sean Carter remembers everything he did to me, and he's got it on tape. Just like Diddy. It's gonna be the women that give him in the end.
LeToya allegedly suggested that Beyoncé used a surrogate and wore a prosthetic baby bump to protect her image, her body, and her brand. Now, let's be clear, no official proof has ever been shown, no documents, no confirmed statements. But the reason this story has teeth is because of who it's coming from. This isn't a random blogger.
Theory, I need the lyrics for Beyonce daughter. Okay, let's read these lyrics. Verse 1, your body laid out on these filthy floors.
Your body laid out on these filthy floors.
Your stains on my custom couture.
Your stains on my custom couture.
Bathroom attendant let me right in. She was a big fan.
This is someone who knew Beyoncé before the world did, someone who understands how carefully controlled that life is. And here's where it gets even messier. People started digging back into old moments. The hospital lockdown rumors, claims that an entire floor was restricted during Blue Ivy's birth, nurses allegedly signing confidentiality agreements, security tighter than normal, hospitals denying special treatment, but patients complaining about limited access. All of it resurfaced like a scratched record. Then, fans began connecting dots that may or may not even belong together. Beyoncé's lyrics about loss, about heaven, about pain hidden behind beauty. The idea that maybe there was a pregnancy complication, maybe a miscarriage, maybe a medical reason that made surrogacy the safest option. But instead of honesty, the theory goes, an image was protected, a narrative was sold, and everyone involved stayed silent. So where does LeToya fit into all this emotionally? Imagine being pushed out of a group you helped build, watching someone you once called a sister become a global icon, and feeling like the truth is always edited. Every headline praises perfection, every story is polished, and your own pain never makes the cut. Some fans believe LeToya's alleged comments aren't about exposing Beyoncé out of jealousy, but about finally reclaiming her own voice, about saying, I know how things work behind the scenes, about reminding people that celebrities are human and that perfection often comes with secrets. Others feel it's betrayal, that certain lines should never be crossed, that motherhood, however it happens, should never be questioned, and that even spreading these rumors causes real harm. And that's where the emotional impact truly hits. Because if any part of this is true, it means Beyoncé carried a massive burden in silence. Fear of judgment, fear of weakness, fear that the world would see her differently. It also means Blue Ivy grew up under a cloud of speculation she never asked for. On the other side, if it's not true, then these rumors represent how cruel fame can be, how even a woman's body becomes public property, how people feel entitled to dissect every inch of a celebrity's life. For LeToya, the impact is just as heavy. Every time her name trends, it's tied to drama from a decade ago. Not her music, not her growth, just the past. And maybe that's why this story feels so raw, because it's not just gossip, it's unresolved emotion. Friendships broken by business, silence mistaken for peace, truth blurred by loyalty and pain. So what are we really left with? A mystery that may never be fully answered, a reminder that celebrities are curated images, not full stories, and a question that keeps echoing. If the truth was complicated, would the world have been kind enough to accept it? Maybe this isn't about proving whether a baby bump was real or fake. Maybe it's about understanding why someone would feel the need to hide anything at all, or why someone else would feel the need to finally speak. Because behind every rumor is a human story, and sometimes the loudest secrets aren't hidden, they're just waiting for the right moment to be heard. Now, the question is yours. Do you think there's more to this story than we were told? Or is this just another chapter in Hollywood's endless cycle of speculation and betrayal? Either way, one thing is clear. This conversation isn't over yet.